Once news of Columbus's journey was published, many explorers flooded into the American territories. The most famous of these are the conquistadors, mostly of Spain. The conquistadors were able to conquer these vast empires of Native Americans in South and Central America. The most famous of these is Hernando Cortes, who was able to conquer the Aztec Empire centered around Tenochtitlan in Mexico. Cortes was looking for what's often called the three G's: God, gold, and glory. The most important of those, of course, being gold. In February of 1519, Cortes left Cuba with about 600 soldiers and sailed to Mexico. He set up a series of alliances with local tribe leaders. Most important was that the Aztecs had been oppressing these local tribes, forcing them to pay heavy taxes and sending people for the human sacrifices. So Cortes found a willing group of people to assist him in overthrowing the hated Aztecs. Cortes didn't do this all on his own, and this also shows us again how the Native Americans were interacting with the Europeans and trying to control their destiny in the face of this. There was some technical advantages that the Europeans had. Cannons, gunpowder, bigger ships, and so forth. But they only had 600 men. It would have been fairly easy for the population of the Aztecs, about 1 million people, to just wipe out the Spanish. But because of the local alliances and because we're going to see disease, they were unable to defend themselves. Cortes began a 3-month march to Tenochtitlan, a city surrounded by lakes on all sides. The only way on was through some narrow causeways. He entered Tenochtitlan peacefully, deceptively, and when he has an audience with Montezuma, the leader of the Aztecs, he captures Montezuma and forces him to pay to give gold and silver, essentially a heavy tribute. They also forced Montezuma to use his people to mine more gold and silver. After a few months, there was a rebellion against Montezuma. He was actually going to be stoned and killed by the Aztecs themselves as a traitor. Cortes and his men are forced to flee Tenochtitlan on those narrow causeways. They go out, they regroup, they get their local allies back together, and they surround the city and wait. What they left behind was smallpox, and the disease just ravaged the city, wiped out the majority of people within Tenochtitlan, and they really had no way to defend themselves against it. The Aztecs nobly held out for about 3 months, after which time Cortes enters the city, kills all the leaders, and even the priests. In all, about 117,000 Aztec were killed by Cortes and his allies. Pizarro is going to use this same model when he takes over the Incan Empire in South America.